Hi, I'm Gayle Haro, and I'm a community resident from Casa Grande for the last 50-60 years. And so I'm currently a professor out at Central Arizona College, professor of business. I started working a couple of years out of high school. It had just recently opened in '74. I think I went just maybe that year or the next year I started working out there. I originally got hired as a Girl Friday. I used to do inventory and I used to help the timekeeper. And eventually I ended up being the timekeeper for the last 3 or 4 years. It's kind of an interesting job. I used to do inventory in this room, and another worker and I, Flora Liverman, she's since passed, but we used to have to wear jackets in this huge room, and it had 2 computers. They filled up the whole room. That's how big computers were back then. And we used to punch in the inventory on these big sheets, and you had to keep the room so cold that we wore jackets because the tubes would overheat. And even when I did the timekeeping, you had to punch in the cards and be very accurate, and it was this huge machine, you hand punched them in, then you had another huge machine that sorted them out. So it was really to look back on those types of early computer related technology machines that we were using. Their pay was fantastic at that time. They were the best paying jobs, and they brought a lot of high paying and jobs to individuals. The Asarco mine, the Sacaton unit, employed about 360 men. I noted exactly, up to 400 men at one time. And we were a very desirable place to work. First of all, the high paying wages and the benefits, which were unheard of in this town. And we were close in proximity. You didn't have to drive too far. The other mine is out on Choo Choo. You had to drive 50 miles, although they had a lot more jobs. They had maybe 1,400 men that worked out there. And I know, because my dad, that's why we came to town, is through the mines. A particular mine out there was also just as high paying. Well, I actually am originally from New Mexico, and my dad worked there in the uranium mines, and he was an accountant. When I came, I was very familiar with it because it was such a contributor to the community, really. It really brought some different types of jobs, because in those days everything was around agriculture. Pretty much, the 5 C's of Arizona, which is what? Cattle, citrus, cotton, climate, and copper. I think, again, it brings another plethora of jobs, of course, and it's always been such a stable, I think, copper and mining, and if it's lucrative now to mine it again, I think it'll just contribute to the community.